Hello, nation builders. How do I create an agent that can tweet and act on socials using Nation? This is a common question for people who are looking to add social capabilities to their agent. And for that, actually, we have a skill that is called Twitter that I will show you today on how to use. Now, I have created this agent. It will help me test this feature. So first of all, I'm going to link this agent to the Twitter profile that I want to use. In this case, we're going to use IntentKit. Now, by linking the agent to this Twitter account, the Nation platform will use its own API keys, which is the Nation hosted, to allow you to interact with Twitter. And so this has functions such as getting mentions, creating a post, replying to a post, getting the timeline of the users you follow, maybe follow a particular user, like their post, repost a post, search posts with some criteria, or search users by username, and get their tweets. So a lot of functions that come from the Twitter API. And you can select which ones, of course, you want to control as an owner, and which ones you want to allow everybody to control. Up to you what you select. Now, the important thing to notice is that if you have deployed this link to Twitter with the Nation hosted key, there is rate limits that apply. And so, for example, you'll only be able to get mentions once every 15 minutes or 16 minutes. If anything above that, you will hit some rate limits. So one common thing that you can do when you are looking to activate a social agent that is a bit more interactive is to use your own keys. And so for this one, you'll be able to enter your own keys, and you can get them from the developer account on Twitter. So for your agent account, you go to the Twitter account, and you can sign up for a, let's say, a basic plan. With the basic plan, it costs $200 per month, and you'll be able to get much, much higher rates. So you can have your Twitter, for example, interacting every 5 minutes. So with that, actually, I'll go ahead and enter my keys here, and then we're going to test this agent. So now that we have entered the keys for the paid plan for IntentKit account, I'll be able to have a much higher limits on how my agent interacts. And so I can go ahead, for example, and create some autonomous tasks to say, fetch tweets and reply to them. So for instance, I'll give the task prompt here to execute every 5 minutes. And I will say, fetch mentions and reply to them. This is pretty generic, so later on you can be more specific. You say, for example, only reply to mentions that ask you about a specific thing or ask you to do a specific thing. And so that way you can control what your agent does when it fetches the mentions. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to go and update. So, for example, I'll go ahead and say, get mentions of IntentKit AI. So what this will do, it will use the Twitter function, which is get mentions, and it will get us the mentions of the account, essentially, that we linked. So there you go. It has called the skill. It has fetched all the mentions that have mentioned IntentKit AI. Now, I want to, for example, interact with it to say, give a like to each one. And there is, of course, some rate limits, so this could maybe not work for all of them. Okay, so you see that it liked a few tweets, and then maybe some of them failed, so we can see why. So I think this is a rate limit. When you see this error, it's a rate limit. And then what we will do as a final test, I'm going to go ahead and mention the agent from another account, and then we'll see it replying to that mention. I have mentioned, I believe, IntentKit to get me information about virtual token. And in 5 minutes, this will execute, and IntentKit will reply by using the skill. And we will see that on the autonomous task. Okay, so we see here that the autonomous job has run, which is fetch mentions and reply to them. And actually it has replied, but did not fetch the price. So I'll tell you how you fix that. But essentially you can see here on this particular mention, if we refresh the page that it has replied, I can get you the information about virtual token. Just give me a moment to fetch the details for you. So this is where you then start enhancing your autonomous job. So for example, I would add use your skills to fulfill the request, and then I'll tell it perhaps to not reply until it has completed the request. So that's how you can launch an agent that can automate your Twitter activity. Good luck.